Hey guys, it is Melissa and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Melissa and I do true crime videos. And I don't want to jump the gun or anything, but you should subscribe. I'm going to say, okay, right now I have 9,970, but I'm pretty sure when this video goes up, it's going to say 10K. Anyways, I just want to thank all of you guys from the bottom of my heart. One thing about this channel is that we have never really advertised or promoted our videos in any way. So all of you guys have kind of organically came to be a part of our true crime family. And I just really appreciate you guys. It means a lot that each of you are a genuine part of our family. And I thank you because you guys have taught me so much about research, cases, missing persons, tips and tricks. I thank you. Did I say it? Can you feel it? Because I really do appreciate you guys. All right, thank you. That's it. That's all I got. Make sure you hit subscribe. Okay, so last week, just so you don't forget, we did do a video on Rachel Barber. Totally twisted, solved case. Yeah, girl did not do enough time on that one. Anyways, so make sure you guys check out that one because that one was kind of twisted. You know, that's how it is. It's the person you least expect that people are just looking past and they say they're not a suspect and it turns out it's them. That was the case of Rachel Barber. This week, I'm going to do 2 videos for you guys in one. There's 2 new cases that are happening. I promised you guys that we would do a missing person, so I'm just going to do 2 missing persons at once. We need to get back to our roots, which is awareness on missing persons and unsolved cases, and I'm ready for it. So we are going to talk about Alan White. He went missing October 22nd of 2020 in Dallas, Texas. And then we're going to talk about Marisela Botello, who went missing on October 5th of 2020, also in Dallas. These cases are 100% not related to each other. Just the perfect time to present 2 small cases in one video. You get where I'm going? All right, cool. So thank you guys so much for being here. Let's hop right into the video. Okay, so first we're going to talk about Alan White. Alan White was a 55-year-old man who lived in Dallas. He was an accounting executive and he worked for a very large firm which was called KPMG. Just making sure I got that right. I saw that he was an accounting executive, but I also saw more that he was an accounting executive and this was an accounting firm, so that kind of makes more sense to me. He comes from a very large family. And it appears they have lots and lots of love. I found his Facebook. I will not post it, but I did scroll it and I checked. And just the post that he writes to everyone, he's got a lot of love. Just a very loyal, compassionate person. You can completely tell. His mother, Mary Lou, has been out there assisting and trying to find him. His father, it does appear, was a serviceman and he had passed away over 30 years ago. And he has a sister, Tina, and a brother, Tim, and then I believe another sister. Tim has been very active on news media with doing press releases and talking and doing interviews. He's been there at his brother's house, really trying to help. Alan also has a husband partner. I've seen it both ways. However, they've got rings on and I saw them referred to as husband. They have been together for over 18 years. So I'm going to refer to Rusty Jenkins as his husband. So him and Rusty have been together. Another thing I saw on Facebook, they had remodeled a home. I think it was a couple years ago. And it's really pretty. I'm not going to post the pictures, of course, but it is on his public Facebook. And just sharing what a beautiful home they had built together. And it just seemed, because I don't have a lot about him, because we haven't gotten that far. People haven't started talking about him as a person. They're more focused on finding him. But I can tell, you just can see when somebody has just a genuine heart and a genuine soul. Who is also very dedicated to working out. So let's talk about the morning of October 22nd. Alan gets into his car. Rusty gets into his car and they both take off. It's about 4:45 in the morning. Rusty is going to his gym and Alan is going to his gym. I know I thought it was weird too, what are they going to different gyms for? But I actually have friends who do this, so it kind of makes sense. One gym might be just set up a different way, might have different classes, one might have your trainer, whatever it is, they headed off to separate gyms. Alan arrives at the LA Fitness, not in LA, we're in Dallas, the LA Fitness gym on Haskell at about 5 o'clock in the morning. He's then seen on camera leaving the gym at about 5:38 in the morning, and then he proceeds to a gas station. Just so we're clear, this did take a lot to come out. I'm giving you this right now, but it did take almost 2 weeks to get this information for the family to figure out a little bit. They were able to go back to the gym, contact them, and get the CCTV to figure out when he got into his car. And then I'm sure through bank records, they figured out he went to the gas station. So that's kind of where they went next. So he leaves the gym at 5:38 in the morning, and then he heads to the racetrack gas station, which is on the corner of Inwood and Maple. So he gets to the gas station, and they find more surveillance video of him there. And it appears that he just pulls up to the gas station. Now, he is driving a 2020 Porsche Macan. Whatever, you guys tell me. I looked it up and I already forgot how to say it correctly. I don't remember. So he's in a 2020 Porsche. Now this car is not actually his. It is a loaner car from the dealership. His car was having work done on it, so he was in a loaner car. That's going to be important in a little bit. So he's in this car. He pulls up to the gas station. Everything seems fine. The surveillance video is very choppy. It appears to be either one of those videos that is recorded in stills, or two, maybe the police are editing out information they don't feel is relevant or something they want to hold on to. So we have this video, but it looks fine. He gets gas. He goes around to the driver's side. He opens the door, looks in, puts something in or something, shuts the door. It appears that he goes into the store. And after I watched the news conference, it did appear that he did. Maybe he walked in, he looked around, and didn't make any purchases and went back to his car. And then he gets into his car. We can't see it because it does cut off. But according to the news conference again, he then gets back into his car and drives in the direction of his house. And he's never been seen again. Now, Rusty is at home. He's gone to the gym. He's back home. They have a routine. They have a schedule. And about 6:15, he's kind of like, okay, what's going on? Where's Alan at? I'm kind of worried. Rusty said at 6:45, he is in a full-on panic. Like, what is going on? Where is he at? Something must have happened. And by 7 a.m., he's in his car and he's driving the route trying to find him. His honest thought was, oh no, Alan's gotten in a car accident. I have to go find him. He started calling the hospitals. He even asked for John Doe's because he's thinking maybe he doesn't have his ID. Like, what could have happened? Why don't I know where Alan's at? And then he ends up phoning the family and the police immediately to get them involved to try to find him, because where could he be? They do find the Porsche eventually. They found it on October 29th, and it was parked in South Dalllas, about 10 miles from the gas station in the other direction. The thing is that when the car was found, so many questions. Who would carjack someone, take the person, and not take the car? I mean, this is a 2020 Porsche something. It's worth a lot of money. They would have gone to a chop shop immediately. So it's very worrisome. I know a lot of people thought when they hadn't found the car, maybe he wrecked somewhere and he's, lost, or what, all these things that they could worry about. So here's the worst. You're thinking, well, why didn't they track him? Okay. In regards to his phone, it does say that he did have an iPhone. However, the Find My Phone app had not been set up, and so they were not able to track his phone. Tips, because this is why we do these videos. It is about raising awareness to help find a missing person, and it is about preventing another missing person. You can be tracked from many apps, not just your phone app, not just your phone carrier. There's tracking in Gmail, there's tracking in Yahoo, there's tracking in all of your apps that you could put your location onto. And I encourage you to share that with as many trusted people as you can. Not the world, but as many trusted people as you possibly can, because if you ever go missing, boom, that is the easiest way to find you. Unfortunately, in Alan's situation, they couldn't use his phone to do that. So you're thinking 2020 Porsche something has got to have tracking in it. And I guess I meant to look this up, but then I didn't want to look it up because I knew I'd just get more frustrated. It didn't. Or it wasn't activated and set up. And I don't understand that, because it's a loaner car. Wouldn't you want to track your loaner car, but then maybe privacy so they can't track loaner car? I have so many questions about that, but no. There was no tracking on that car, apparently, so they weren't able to track it. They did end up locating it, though. And when they found it, we don't know. Apparently, it was in fine condition, and there was nothing going on in the car. But I do have questions. Was his phone in there? Was his ID in there? Was his wallet? What about that shirt that he changed, the original gray shirt? Was that in the backseat of the car? Did you dust it for fingerprints? Was there anything moved around in the car? Was there any blood whatsoever? So many questions. I even want to know, what was the music station on? Did that make sense for him? Because in my car, it would be playing a podcast, and you would know. And if you got in and it wasn't, you'd be like, what's going on with her? I don't know. There's just so many questions about all these possibilities that we just don't know yet at this point. Alan's mother, I think it's Mary Lou, is in her 80s, and she explained that this is the hardest thing. It's a living nightmare to be in your 80s and be dealing with police and hospitals and all these people trying to find your child. it's not something a mother, grandmother, great grandmother wants to even consider having to deal with. And it's very heartbreaking for her. The family has already hired a PI. They immediately got a $10,000 reward. They have now upped that, I saw today, to $15,000. And they will take anything they can to find Alan. That's all they care about. They didn't care about the car, even if it had been his. They didn't care about any money he might have had on him. Nothing of that matters to them. They just want to find Alan. And just some answers to what the heck could have happened, because a carjacking doesn't make sense. So why would somebody harm him? Why would he get out of his vehicle? If you look at his life and his history and everything, there is nothing at all to explain him having any troubles. There's nothing to explain him wanting to walk away. His brother Tim said he's been at his house doing interview with the press, and he said right in front of him is a handwritten note for October 22nd, the day that Alan disappeared, of all of his tasks he needed to do. He had a 7 o'clock conference that day that he was ready for. So this isn't someone that has any reason to walk away or not let their family know if they wanted to take some time away. Like, there just isn't any reason for that. So prayers to the family. If you have any information, I will link all of the information to the police department. If you know anything about Alan White, make sure you contact the police department immediately. And make sure you send prayers to the family, because that's just got to be the hardest thing to have to deal with. Okay, now let me tell you about Marisela Botello, 23 years old, actually from Seattle, Washington. So I do not have hardly anything on Marisela. I don't. And I don't know if that's, a lot of the interviews are in Spanish, but mostly they were translated. And sometimes I think there's some information left out about her personal life. I'm not really sure. But all I know is that she's 23, she's from Seattle, Washington, and she travels a lot. So this isn't unusual for her. And I do know that she has a mother, and I believe it was a sister or an aunt, somebody that has been doing interviews on her behalf looking for her. So it's October 2nd. It was a Friday, and she is going to take a weekend trip to Dallas. Now, the question is, she ends up staying with her ex-boyfriend, and a lot of questions about why. I did hear from an aunt. I think it's her aunt, not her sister. I did hear from an aunt, rumored, that she might have not have wanted to book a hotel, so then she just stayed with him. But then I have questions like, well, then who was she staying with? Who are visiting with? Like, who is she hanging out with? What was the purpose of this trip? And we don't know. But here's what it is. She's taking a trip. She's going to fly to Dallas on October 2nd, hang out for the weekend, and then she's going to fly back home on Monday the 5th. So maybe she has a job that she has to get back to. Maybe she has school. I'm not really sure. I apologize for that. If you guys have any information on her, please drop it down below, and I'll pin your comment so we know a little bit more about her as a person. So she's in Dallas. She's staying with the ex-boyfriend. I don't know what they do Friday the 2nd. I don't know what they do Saturday the 3rd. On Sunday the 4th, I also don't know what they do, but it does appear that they had done something. Totally guessing. And then now it's late Sunday night, and the ex-boyfriend, whose name we don't have, it's not been publicly stated, it's just been put into comments, so I'll let you find that. And police, I've already said they do not consider him a suspect whatsoever, so I'm not sure how that came. We'll get to it in a second. So the ex-boyfriend doesn't want to go out anymore. But Marisela, it's her last night in Dallas, and she wants to go out. She wants to go have some more fun, and he doesn't want to go. Maybe he has to work. Maybe, I have no idea what the plan was. But he's going to stay at home, and she's going to go out. So she calls for a Lyft, and a Lyft does pick her up at midnight. So now we are in October 5th. Picks her up at midnight and takes her to an area of Dallas called the Deep Ellum. Now, I think I get this. If you're from Dallas, tell me if I'm right or wrong. City of Dallas, you have all these little areas. Deep Ellum is like an area, like where the nightlife is. That's what I'm guessing. And she ends up going to an old arcade by the name of, I don't remember the name. I'll put the name right here, and I'll put some pictures of it. So supposedly this is like a bar, but it's got some old arcade games in it, and it's like a happening night spot that you can go hang out at. So she goes there at midnight, and then she is seen, they get this video much later, she is seen at 1:15 in the morning leaving with an unidentified male. Here's the deal. Let me backtrack a little bit before I give you this information. So her family is completely trying to find her. Like, they're not going to give up. They end up getting into her Snapchat. And they get into her Snapchat, and they can see what she was wearing that night. It's this purple, sparkly halter dress. So they know what she's wearing that night, and so that's great. They have this good picture of her to know what she was wearing when she disappeared. They also get into her email, and they're able to get this receipt for the lift so they know where she got dropped off at. So then they're able to go back to the place and get this surveillance video. It's been said that police have not officially confirmed this video, but that being said, police have also said that they have identified the man in the video. Now, they have identified the man, and I'm going to say this right now. This is an allegation. I don't know how I am not saying this is it's an assumption, okay? Literally, this is not concrete. But according to the news conference, this man has been identified as Charles Beltran. Now, Charles, we have no clue whether or not she knew this man. No clue if there's contact information in her phone about him. Nothing, because her phone has never been found. So we do not know how she knew this man or how they identified that that was that man. But here's what I'll tell you about Charles Beltran. There's already been people are trying to get info on him, and he's got a record. He's part of an indie band that travels around, and so he's not even from the Dallas area. But apparently, according to the police, that is the man that she has seen leaving the bar. But they've also been very clear to him, and they made all of these news pleas to him. They've tried to reach him, and they told him, you're not a suspect. You're just the last person we know she was with, because her phone did have activity up until 4 a.m. So they're like, Charles, he goes by Chuck. Chuck, we just want to talk to you because we know you were with her that night. We just need to know what she say. Where was she going? What was she doing? Who did she leave with? And he has literally refused to speak with the police and has gone completely quiet. And on his Instagram, I will put up the post for you. The end of October, he puts up a post like that he's making a new mixtape and he's going to be stepping away for a while and he's going to go quiet. And the comments underneath are nothing but, where's Marisela? Where's Marisela? Yeah, screw your mixtape. Where's Marisela? Answer the questions. Because honestly, answer the questions. I get not wanting to be involved in an investigation of a missing person. If you're kind of worried that like, well, crap, I have a record and crap, we hooked up and dang it, I don't want them to think it was me. But like, get your attorney to go with you. There's all these ways to do it. I get somebody who, when it looks bad, doesn't want to get into trouble for something they didn't do. But like, there's a million ways around that. Take an attorney with you if you need to. But he's not. And so the news conference basically said, like, look, we weren't trying to blast your face, but you won't contact us. And we need to talk to you. So here you go. Here's your face. And so that's the only reason I'm including a completely only, barely a person of interest and not even considered a suspect yet. Yeah, like, I mean, let's be honest, you know what I'm thinking in my head, but I don't want to be that person that throws out completely misleading information. But I mean, yeah, it looks bad. It does. You were leaving with her. There were some rumors that they were heading back to his car to hook up, that she liked him, that she had a little crush on him. So maybe she knew him before. Maybe she'd been seeing him throughout the weekend. I have absolutely no idea. His Instagram also confuses me because it makes it look like he was in Arkansas either the night before, because it's dated the 4th, but that could have been, you know, if they had been doing a gig or something on the 3rd. I have no idea. But according to the police, that is the man that she was last seen with. I will say this. There is this comment that somebody keeps leaving all over a bunch of posts. Please, when I say to you that I think this is pure gossip, but this person keeps commenting and not pretending, because I don't know, and saying that it's a statement on behalf of the police department, but then I can't find the statement on the police department. Saying that the ex is technically a suspect, he has a history of drugs, and that the Beltran guy is only being looked for because he's not even from the state, and they just want to talk to him to know if he knew where she went. I don't even know if that's any true. I'm just figured I would drop that little bit of gossip for you. But yeah, that's all I have for you so far on Marisela. So, as before, if you have any information on her, anyway, in this case with this guy, if she is with Charles and he travels all around, he was seen in a 2000, I forgot the year, 14 Audi A6. It was black. But I don't know if he's not from Dallas, if that was his car. I'm not even sure. But they could be anywhere. If he has her, they could be anywhere. So make sure you're sharing her photo, keeping an eye out. If you were in that area that weekend, police want to talk to you. They are looking for anyone that saw her, talked to her, chatted with her. Check your phone roll, check your camera roll. Did you have any photos? Check your snaps. Anything that you might have taken that weekend in the Deep Ellum area, just to see if you can spot her, especially that night in that dress. If you chatted with her, that's what police are looking for. They need any information from the public they can get. This is how we solve cases, guys. We do it together. So I encourage you, if you're in that area, check with your friends, tell them like, hey, was anybody out this weekend? That's what I have for you guys on the case of Alan White and Marisela Botello. If you guys have any information, I've given you the police department. So thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you so much for getting me to 10K. Like, I don't know what to say to you guys. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Yeah. And make sure you guys add me on Instagram, because I'm going to start posting my cases before they go up. So you know what I'm working on. If you have any information, you can always send me something and I can add to it. So I love you guys. And I say this at the end of every one of my videos: hug your babies and hug your lives. Life is literally precious. Enjoy every minute of every day and do not take anything for granted. I love you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.